We're joined now by the managing director of Christ in the City. Blake Brouillette has his sleeves rolled up every day overseeing this mission. Blake, thank you for joining us. What is Christ in the City's goal when it comes to addressing poverty?
Montse, thank you for having me here. So our goal is twofold. We are aiming to form the general population, the lay, even the priests and religious, but mainly just the general population of Christians to know, love, and serve the poor. And we have definitely been known as a chronically homeless serving organization. But our aim when we serve the poor is to encounter. There are so many excellent resources in Philadelphia and Denver and all over the country that are meeting the basic needs, and that must come first. But after that, we know this loneliness, this isolation, this is so prevalent on the streets in society. And we aim to fight that rupture of relationships by healing through relationship.
It's beautiful. In her story, Roselle, our reporter, explains that there are 4 pillars to the missionaries' formation. So the way that you all carry this out: intellectual, apostolic, human, and spiritual. Why did you all choose these 4 areas?
Yeah, our founders were very wise in just looking at what has the church done before. And in the document by John Paul II, Pastoris Dabo Vobis, which is actually how seminarians are formed and other organizations and religious orders, it bases on those 4 pillars. And we, instead of having pastoral, put apostolic on the end. And just seeing the wisdom of the church, knowing that to form or serve the poor is that apostolic pillar. But we look at Mother Teresa, one of our founders, and she knew the spiritual, the human, the intellectual were so essential to properly give the poor the face of Christ and what they need, which is love above all else.
Absolutely. And you talked about meeting the basic needs. There are ministries that help with food, clothing, addiction recovery, right? You talked about meeting those needs as one thing, and this being something totally different. The fact that you're trying to meet the homeless as they are, but you don't call them the homeless or the poor. You call them friends. Can you explain the reasoning behind this intentional wording?
Yeah, when our missionaries go to the streets, when we encourage those who relate to this movement of service to the poor, we encourage them to have consistency. And the caseworkers, because of their load and their work and all those social services, there are boundaries that need to be established, very strict boundaries. And it's not healthy for them to share about their own lives. And when we go to the streets, we get to know the homeless, the poor, and they get to know us. And that is the beginnings of a friendship. We're not there to, just help them, but we're there to encounter them. And that comes through a friendship. Like Jesus Christ befriended the poor, that is our aim. And it is true friendship. And it's one of those where our missionaries every year go through and just ask themselves, are we actually friends? And then we start diving into that question with them and ask them, is this a friendship? And almost resoundingly, it is a yes. The homeless, the poor that we see regularly are excited to see us. We are excited to see them. We rejoice with them, and we also suffer with them. The highs and the lows of friendship in the Christian life.
So you receive just as much as you give. I know you and I both have shared that we've heard Archbishop Chaput say that if you don't help the homeless, you're going to hell. And what he really means by that is that all Catholics are called to serve the poor. What advice can you give our viewers if they feel inspired to encounter the poor like your missionaries, but are a little bit awkward about how to get started?
Yeah, we'll do this in threefold. So first, if you're in Denver or Philadelphia, please look us up. www.christinthecity.org, or if you're in any of the areas around that, we'd love to have you come volunteer with us. Like Montse and her team has seen the house. It's just a warm and welcoming place. If you're in a city, or even let's say you're in a small town, right? You're in a small town and there may not be homeless. The poor are all among us. And what is the number one thing you can do, even if you have nothing on you? And that is giving them your time and your presence. So let's say you're in a city and you have the same route to work every day, and there's a man or woman, a brother or sister in Christ at that stoplight. Just begin by saying, hey, you don't need anything. Just smiling, breaking down that barrier. As we all know, introducing ourselves to someone new, it's a little awkward. Take that awkwardness upon yourself and give that gift to them of just saying hello. Maybe it's a smile. Maybe that's all you can muster at this point. But just begin by seeing the poor as not a problem to be fixed, but a person to be encountered. And through that, you'll find that you'll want to carry soft foods or water for your friends or the poor you're going to meet, because that's what they need. So we really encourage you, make the bar low to begin, because that's really how we break this rupture of relationships on the streets.
That's how we build new habits. Thank you so
Yes.
much, Blake. Really, really appreciate your time and your wonderful mission.
Thank you so much, Montse. We truly appreciate you guys highlighting our work.